Good afternoon, everybody. We are a couple minutes behind. Sorry about that, but we're kind of busy around here, so we're running like crazy. Anyways, it is Tuesday afternoon, October 27th. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We'll give everybody a second to get on here. Today we just have Alex and Debbie here in the studio, so they are helping me with this live broadcast. We're going to talk about a few things today. We've got some cool stuff to cover, including the brand new shirt that I'm wearing, which is part of a whole bunch of brand new apparel that we are going to be offering for the holiday season. So we've got lots of good stuff for gift ideas and just to update on clothing in general, and all kinds of goodies. So, you know, it'll be pretty cool. I think you're going to like it. Let's see. As always, I welcome your questions and comments. Make sure that you include the year of your vehicle, make and model. It'll better help me answer your question. So please do that. And featured products today. So I've got a few new things to show you. Or do you have any questions or anything you want to mention before I go to that?
We've got Josh Nelson just joined us. Terry Mode is online.
Nice.
Your mom, Nana GenRight.
Of course.
Bill Witten, John Beard, Byron Roberts from Kentucky, Heather McCoy, Corey Horton, Summer
Awesome.
Ann. Hi, Summer Ann.
Awesome.
Bonnie Lake. Hey, Bonnie.
Thanks, everybody.
Let's see, Matt Perrin. Why aren't you working on floors, Matt? Kate Atkinson.
I hear Maddie's going to be co-driving.
Alfie.
He's going to be co-driving at this next KOH, so
Fields
that's cool.
Paul.
So our audio is good today. Everybody's happy out there in Facebook land.
Can you hear us?
It's all looking good. I'm not just talking to nobody here.
So
all
far,
right.
so good.
This one I brought out today in particular to show Jason and Lisa Adams. They were asking about our two-door JK Cage soft top bracket kit. So these are the brackets. They're laser cut out of 1/8-inch thick steel, been formed in a bunch of different places. Pretty cool. It comes as a set, including all new hardware. So those are now up on the website. So not only is it a featured product, it's one of our new products. The other thing that's on the website is a brand new Radiator Mount. And this is actually really cool because it is all stainless steel. And this is what we're using to mount the radiators in our V8 tracer kits. So it comes with this upper mount and these lower mounts. Really nice. I just put this up on the website too. So if you're thinking about building a tracer, this is made for the super efficient Ron Davis radiator that we've got spec'd for that. It comes with all the necessary stainless hardware. Really nice setup if you get a chance, check that out. Next new thing, this is not on the website yet. This is brand new. This is a grab handle for the passenger side. Brand new GenRight version. Those are coming. And we've talked about this a couple of times, but we get new people all the time. So this is a D-ring mount on the front bumper. I guess you could put it on the rear too, for your license plate. So when you go off-road, you can pop it off, not smash your license plate. When you get back on the street, you just put that through your D-ring, and you've got a front license plate. You can find those on our website right now. Those are super popular and kind of a cool item. And oh yeah, this is one that I really like to talk about because not enough people have them. And this is our fuel pump access plate. So this Frenches into the floor on your Jeep. And these notches actually make it fit with the ribs that are back there in the floor. This gives you a really nice way with nice round edges to reach in there, work on the plumbing, the fuel pump itself. And then, of course, it has a nice aluminum cover that goes right on top. and fits flush with the floor. What's nice about it is that it's beefy, so it doesn't weaken the floor. Even though you've cut the floor out, this reinforces it and makes it nice and strong. Of course, it includes the necessary hardware. So fuel pump access plate, only $149. Whether you've got one of our tanks or a stock tank, this is a super nice thing to have. Inevitably, the pump always acts up when the tank is full. So dropping that baby down is never fun. We've talked about it several times, and we've been on several trips where people needed this, and they actually just saw cut their floor knowing they were going to get this when they got home. So any questions on that stuff, Deb?
Yeah, we got a few questions.
Okay, then I'll
Kate
back up.
Atkinson says, more lady shirts, please.
Oh, yeah,
So
actually.
you can show her that one.
Yep, we've got, this is one of the brand new
dress.
lady shirts with, this is one of my favorite styles, just clean and nice. We've got the brand new long sleeve version of that for the guys, got the American flag on the sleeve, very nice.
And the dress in the upper right corner.
We've got, the dress up there for the ladies. And this is always a super popular version. And this is the one that we did in that light gray. So now we've got it available in a darker gray. And then, of course, the one I'm wearing. And we've always got a good selection of hats and stuff over on the GenRight website. Of course, not the yellow one. So.
No, that would require buying the company. Mike Stewart, 2015 JK two-door. I need corner guards, please.
Yes. So we have the pieces. Those need to be built on the Jeep. I just had the guys over at Rockstar Garage build a set. Turned out perfect. They said it was super easy. Call in, talk to my guys. That is not something you'll find on the website. Call in, talk to the guys. They'll get you the right pieces. And it's a cool little kit. It does have the recessed tail light in it and everything. So pretty nice and comes out perfect. So what else you got?
Let's see. Oh, Mike Stewart said, can I just cut down the four-door ones?
No, it's not quite that easy. I mean, if you wanted to make a shorty one, you could. But we sell one that is for the two-door. And I sell one for the stretch two-door. I mean, we got all kinds of stuff. So you just got to call in and talk to my guys. So I think that's one of my slides, isn't it? That whatever you don't see on the website, call in. I got 3 guys sitting over there waiting for your call. They're on email, they're on the phone, they're on everything. One of the things about GenRight, if you're new to our company, is we answer the phone, an actual physical person. When I started this company, that was something that was super important to me. And always you will get a live person during business hours to answer the phone. So that's one of our basic business premises. I hate getting voicemail. I hate companies that send you into that and you can never get to talk to anybody, any department. I mean, that's terrible. So that's why we answer the phone, and we are here for you.
John Beard asked if our armrests are made to fit the factory half doors.
They are. They are. And you will find those on every one of my vehicles. And they're comfortable. It raises the height just a little bit, so it's a little nicer when you lean out. And they also are not as hot as putting your arm on paint, even though we're coming into the cooler season. So not as big of an issue, but man, everybody that sees those things, especially if they get a ride in my Jeep, they go, hey, where'd you get these things? Well, of course, GenRight. So what else you got?
Let's see. VB Tom, axle wrap, cause and fixed. 94 YJ modified
leaf
Rubicon
springs.
Express.
Yep.
2.5 SOA lift.
Okay. So this is a great question. I don't have a slide for this, of course. We covered some of this in our previous talks. What you need is a rear 4-link kit. I sell the brackets for $99. And you can build the arms and get the rest of the stuff. That is the only real way to fix that. Get rid of those leaf springs. Once you do the spring over and flatten them out, they're going to do nothing but wrap. Eventually, you're going to break. your U-joint. I've seen some horrible things happen with that. And if you're not breaking the U-joint, you're certainly wearing the crap out of it. I used to have this, that's how I know. And I was wheeling with all my buddies that had TJs, and they would just get right up the ledges. And that spring wrap would always cause me, like I'd start to get up and then I'd end up falling back down. Just spend a few bucks, get the 4-link, sell that stuff off to some other schmo who doesn't know that it's no good, and you'll be way ahead, and you'll thank me in a later live broadcast.
Gordy Smith asked if we could make a windshield banner with those colors in it for a JL.
We probably could, yes.
That's not a bad
I
idea,
happen to
Gordy.
like the red, white, and blue myself. Yes. Awesome.
Kelly Sims asked, new rear lights, question mark.
He's not supposed to know about that, but the first ones made it to my desk this morning.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, I'm checking that out right now.
I think on the product you were just featuring, we had one question, TJ or LJ, and then another, are they aluminum?
TJ or LJ?
I don't know, it was a product you were just talking about.
Well, I sell an access plate like this that if you put our gas tank in the back for JK and soon to be JL, this is JK 2-door cage for our cage for the soft top. This is for LJ Tracer. This would be universal for all Jeeps across the board, and this would be universal for anybody who's got a D-ring on the front of their bumper. That'll go on. It's a universal size, and get you right going. Yep. So.
John Miller, last week you used a term I've either forgotten or don't, or I just wasn't paying close enough attention. It was scrub radius, question mark.
Scrub radius, yes. How about the RC car? Let's see the RC car. We keep an RC car here on the set just for this purpose. There we go. Awesome. Okay, guys. Scrub radius has to do with are you zooming in on me, Alex, here? Has to do with when the front wheels turn. Oh, my little servo's going wonky on me here. When they turn, it breaks the traction. It's this arc that it spins in. So when the wheel is more focused over, and I think we had one of these was loose. Oh, no, they're tight now. But basically, this is an offset wheel. So as it goes, it's breaking the traction. And when it does that's also, you would be feeling that as you're driving. When you push the wheel back over the knuckle, like I have on the Terremoto or like we do on our Tracer kits, that lets the vehicle walk through obstacles without breaking the traction. Very important. A lot of people discount it or don't understand it, which is fine. But that's one of the reasons why we can get out there and make obstacles look so effortless, is because we're using the right geometry on these things and reducing that scrub radius. So yes, that great question, and hopefully I answered that. If not, you can go back to my series that I did on terminology, which is also on the GenRight YouTube. And I think that was 4 or 6 parts. It was a bunch. But that's in there in more detail. So,
Justin Andrew, a tech talk or two ago, you mentioned using a magnet inside the differential. Do you sell them? Can you point me in the direction of what to look for?
Sure.
Regarding size, style, etc.
Is that thing still out here?
It's under that panel.
Oh, it is. Okay. So it was a thick magnet, and guys, you can get these at any hardware store. Home Depot, Lowe's, True Value, Harbor Freight. I mean, they come in a 2-pack, and they come round, they come square. Like, you can get them whatever you want. You just throw that in there, and that will take care of anything floating around for sure. So, yep.
Joel Crane asked, any chance for a full wraparound Gladiator rear bumper?
I mean, the one we have now does wrap around, but it doesn't go all the way up. The problem with that is that you can't properly support that. So it's a little bit of a challenge there. my suggestion is go bigger tires, and then you won't hit anything. So all of our guys that have gone to 42s, like they're 10 miles from hitting anything out there on the trail, and I've seen them go through some crazy stuff. What else you got?
Logan Delarino, do you sell seat risers like you have in the Terremoto?
Well, for the TJ-LJ, we've got a brand new seat mount kit that is, you can raise it up and down or tilt it front and back. That is in our new product section on our website. Don't know if that's the vehicle they're talking about. Otherwise, if they're just talking about spacers, I know there are some kits out there, but we do not sell a spacer kit right now. So
John Miller got a kick out of Schmo that doesn't know.
Yeah, I mean, look, just because it may be junk to you, it's gold to somebody else, man. Just sell that stuff.
Yeah, one man's treasure.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike Stewart, 2015 JK corner guards, are they aluminum? Kate Atkinson responded, no, they're steel.
No, they're steel.
They are
those are
steel,
1/8 inch steel. Yep.
Logan, oh, I already said that. Oh, can you buy just the access tank, the gas tank access plate for the JKU?
I mean,
did I read that one?
You can. You'd have to call in and talk to one of my guys to get it. It's not something we normally offer separately. Right now, you'd be, it's made for the back area. So if you haven't relocated your tank to the back, you'd just be opening the floor to nothing. So, or your muffler. So just call in, talk to one of my guys. They'll be able to get you some more information on that.
John Arias, please help me pick fenders for my LJ. I'm so stumped what to pick.
Okay, what size tire? How much lift? I can talk for a second, and we can talk about that. Actually, if Alex wants to flip the camera around real quick, we can just talk about this one over here. Maybe James can hold this for me. Just put your arm around that. Okay, so standard hood, standard fender, and I guess they pulled my fenders that I had over here. So this has got, what are these things? These are 33s. So easily a standard fender would fit right on here. Our 4-inch flare is the same width as this, the outside edge. And we taper the front a little bit more so this isn't sticking out. This always gets broken when you're going through rocks and trees. It has to do with when you turn, the wheel goes way inside, and now this whole corner is just hanging out asking to get hit. So our fenders have a nice slope to them that let anything coming by go by. And standard height, 33s, would fit perfect. Now you can go with the high fender, which moves it all the way up to this line on the hood, and that would give you extra 3 inches. So it goes 3 inches up, 3 inches back. So if you need more opening, you want to go to 35s, 37s. So
he
Andrews
just responded. He's on 35s, going to 37s, 4-inch.
Oh, 4-inch lift or 4-inch flare?
Backspace.
Okay, so go over to our gallery, go to LJ's. There's a I'll call it tan or colored LJ, which is Andrew's LJ, and that one is no lift on 37s with our high fenders. So you can kind of get an idea. So if you don't do high fenders, then you need a 3-inch lift, and you could fit your 37s. Otherwise, you could do the high fenders and leave it, and then run your 37s. So it is 4-inch lift. Okay.
Yes.
So then. You would probably be fine with just doing our standard fenders, unless you want to lower it. 4-inch is quite a bit of lift anymore. We don't even do those anymore. It's like 2 or 2.5.
He could call in and talk to one of the guys.
And by all means, call in, talk to Jeff or Andrew. Those are our TJ, LJ guys, and they would be able to steer you in the right direction and get you whatever you need. All right.
Mike Stewart said he'll take the first set of 2-door JK corner guards.
Well, again, those are available right now. It's sold as a kit. So you just got to call in and talk to my guys, and they'd be able to help you get the parts you need and explain what it takes to build those. All right. More questions, or can I continue on?
Michael Hernandez, any chance you'll make a Gladiator tire gate to replace the tailgate?
Excellent question. We already made a really nice tire carrier. The problem is that by the time Darren was done with it, it's about a $3,000 tire carrier. So that's a little costly for the market. It's a beautiful product, swings out nicely, locks nicely. Then we started talking to people, getting some feedback on it, and people are willing to replace the tailgate or forego the tailgate in place of having a tire there. So we're kind of redesigning that. We've got a few different versions we've come out with. So sit tight, and I'll have some stuff to show you guys and just get some of your feedback, and we'll kind of keep working from there. If you want, maybe you could even PM me or email, and I could maybe even send you a little bit more information that I'm willing to send to the public. So let me know on that. Can I move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I uploaded some slides. I want to go back to a topic we had last Tuesday. Everybody always wonders why we recommend the Curry axles. It's all about this rolled back diff cover. And what I wanted to show you guys is how, I don't know if you can see it or not. I know this is difficult. And are you zoomed in right now, Alex? Okay. This is literally like a piece of cardboard, would barely fit between the track bar, the drag link. You know, when this is at full stuff. And remember, that's what it's all about. That's how you're going to keep your vehicle low. That's how you don't put a 4-inch lift kit in, or a 6-inch like they used to do. You want it to sit low and then be able to bump way up. And I'll give you an example. I don't think this is a picture of it. I think this is a picture of looks like maybe a JK or the Tracer. The brand new JL kit that we're working on, the JL Elite, you're going to love this. I'm giving away some secrets right here. Sits 1.5 inches lower than the Terremoto does, and when at that ride height, up travels 5.3 inches. That's like amazing. So not only does it sit lower than the Terremoto only has 3 inches of up travel, this has 5.3 inches. So guys, this next kit we're about to come out with is going to, it's not only going to set the standard, it's going to blow everything out of the water. I mean, this is going to be absolutely amazing. And a big part of it is being able to use these axles that get out of the way so that everything can be moved up. I think I've got another picture here. Yeah, this is another picture just showing you, you know, as all this stuff collapses, you know, there's no room for anything. Again, here's the diff cover. This is a really close-up picture of like the track bar. The track bar being this turquoise or teal piece right here as it wraps over. So, guys, it is super tight. And I know this is a popular question. Anyways, I just wanted to give you a quick touch back on this and reinforce why we use those rollback cover Curry axles. I did want to also mention, you know, I ran into several people out of Trail Hero who had traveled from the East Coast, and they said to me, oh, you know, I don't know about those Curry axles. You know, I don't hear good things about them, blah, blah, blah. And look, think about the source you hear that stuff from. It's probably somebody who doesn't sell Curry axles or sell something competitive to Curry axles, okay? So, you know, really consider where you heard that. Here's what I can tell you. I can run anything I want. I've run the original Curry Rock Jock 70 in my race car since 2014. That's 805 horsepower of just absolute brutal beating. Okay, that's 795 foot-pounds of torque on top of that. We're spinning 40-inch tires. We are doing everything. And those axles, the ring and pinions, everything lasts. So that's also, by the way, the same axles that I just had in the Terremoto, a regular Jeep, like whatever you're driving, that finished KOH in the 4400 class. So, and by the way, not only did I finished ahead of 7 purpose-built vehicles. Those are the ones that finished, and there was like 70 more that didn't even make it to the finish line. So, guys, there's nothing wrong with those Curry axles. We put them in every single build we do around here. I don't know a single customer in the 15 years I've been doing this that's had trouble with them. So just take that as, I can sell you anything you want, and we're designing specific. It has advantages, and that's why we're using it. And please believe what I'm telling you on this stuff, okay?
So great segue into Kevin Barnes' question, Curry over Spider Tracks.
So, the Spider Tracks is going to have kind of a round formed shell to it, the housing. It's still not as high clearance as this. The problem with a 9-inch type is that, first off, if you're going to run low pinion, too low. You're going to run high pinion, the pinion's too high. So it puts the pinion is about an inch or so higher than what's on a Rock Jock Curry axle. And that creates other issues. Otherwise, you're getting all the same stuff out at the knuckles, tubing, the rest of it's fine. This does have a 10 5/8 ring gear, and the pinion is huge. So, and it's a 35 spline. So that's going to be way bigger. I think that the oiling, the load bolts, everything they've got done on these axles is just on par with anything that's out there. And I'll be honest, I don't service these things at all. I just run them. And, if you're going to run a 9-inch, especially if you're going to run a high pinion 9, you better be prepared to work on that thing. And if you want a locker to go in that thing like an ARB, you better be prepared to buy the $3,000 competition locker, because that's what it's going to take. So just keep that stuff in mind. There's a lot of, all these people steer you all these different ways. Are they using it? If you can go to the guy and say, you're using this right now, don't pay attention to somebody who's just trying to sell you something. You're talking right now to somebody that uses this stuff more times in 1 year than people use in a lifetime. My Terremoto goes out 42 out of 52 weeks, and we are beating on that thing, okay? Most people don't even use their vehicle 42 times off-road in the lifetime they own it, okay? So this is the real deal. This is why we're coming to you live, is to show you we know what we're talking about. And not only do we know what we're talking about, we're willing to put our money where our mouth is and prove it over and over and over again, okay? So just keep that in mind. Always consider the source you're talking to. Stop paying attention to those freaking web wheelers on the internet. They don't know jack. So let's make that super clear. All right? We got more?
Kevin asked if you could explain the E-locker over the ARB.
So Eden makes an E-locker that is an electric. There's a coil inside that electrically engages the locker, right? ARB, it's just air. It looks exactly the same, but it uses air. What we've been talking about lately is the Auburn locker, which doesn't, both the Eden and the ARB lock in the spider gears. That is not the way that the Auburn does it. They have a completely different mechanism that locks in as a locker that can be engaged under power. So the Auburn is an electric locker or an E-locker, but they call it a Selecta locker. And you can look at it and see more on our website. You will notice that I do not sell the Eaton locker, and we do not sell the ARB locker. So the move is really more toward the electric lockers, and our preference and what we are running is the Auburn Selecta locker. So, yep.
Andy Orlando, my JT is a pretty heavy rig on 43s and running an 800 plus HP Demon. When Tony said put the Curry 70 up front, I didn't have any reservations for whatever that's worth to anyone on the fence.
Nice, thanks. Appreciate that. And you're going to be super happy with that. It really is a great axle. Jamie's just putting some in the growler. Kelly's got them in his Silver Surfer. I mean, we've got them in everything we do around here, all the way down to the bow tie. So that they're great axles, and you'll get a lot of life out of those. So good stuff. All right. All right. Next, we're going to talk about something that I was doing last week, test driving the new JT Gladiator Mojave edition. And guys, when I first talked to you about this a couple weeks ago, I didn't know a whole lot about it. I hadn't really kind of done my homework. They dropped this thing off, and I wanted to show it to you right away. Well, this thing is actually pretty cool. Jeep came out with this to compete with a desert vehicle that Toyota and Nissan are offering. This sits 1 inch higher, and it has a 33-inch tire. So in addition to that, the frame is reinforced, the axles are reinforced. They got rid of the aluminum knuckles and they put on the steel knuckles. Then it's got the 2.5-inch Fox reservoir shocks on here that are tuned for this vehicle. This thing, I got to tell you, I was pretty impressed for a off the showroom floor vehicle. I took this out to the Hammers and I beat on it. And we went through the open desert, the sand washes. I mean, we went deep sand, like sand dunes. And this has an off-road mode. So when you put it in 4 high and you push the off-road button, it takes off all the traction control. It retunes the whole thing. It changes the shift points. And let me tell you, when you put the pedal down on this thing, it feels like they added 100 extra horsepower. It moves. So I took Jeff Perkins and several other people for a ride in this thing, and it was pretty impressive. I think we've got a video. Oh, we don't? Oh, shoot. We shot a video of me going, it was somewhere between 70 and 80 miles an hour down this sand wash. I'll pull it up for the next live, and we'll post it on Facebook or YouTube or something. But it's pretty impressive. So you'll get a chance to check that. Do I have more slides on this, or is it just this one?
There's a couple different pictures
of the Gladiator. Okay. So this particular one came with a bed cover. It had an opening rear window. It had Linux in the bed. Yeah, it worked great. These are 17-inch wheels, and those were Falcon all-terrain tires. Yeah, that off-road button was pretty cool. I was a little surprised that you couldn't put the rear locker on in high range. It wants you to be in low range. So it's, like a typical Jeep, mostly geared toward off-roading and crawling. But this particular one has that button where when you turn it off, man, you're having some fun. So that was pretty cool. Here's me inside. I was particularly impressed with the large display, and of course the Mojave has all the orange stitching and kind of accents on there. It had the nice soft leather seats and all the orange stitching around that too, and embroidered on the seats. Real nice. It was quite comfortable. Had the smart steering wheel, and it had the cruise control that'll keep you away from the next car, which is pretty cool. So you just set it and it'll keep that distance for whatever speed you set. And that was real nice. Everything worked great. Dual zone climate control, heated seats, heated steering wheel. You're getting all the new creature comforts that everybody wants these days. And the navigation, that's kind of why we took this picture, was the navigation. I've got a 2017 with this same screen and everything, and the navigation is super fast, like as fast as you can type. It's pulling it up, and yeah, that's a huge improvement. The other thing I liked was there's a little bar on the side that tells you where you are in your destination, like what percentage you're getting to your destination. So you don't have to like zoom out to see, oh yeah, I still got a long way to go. This will tell you right here on the side, you're 10% or 50% or whatever you are in terms of your destination. So this one had satellite radio in the whole 9 yards. There was media outlets here, including the newer, what do they call that?
USB-C.
USB-C, as well as regular USB and even an 1/8 inch audio, and then 12 volt, and there was 110 volt AC inverters in there too, and there was even an inverter plug in the bed as well. So pretty nicely set up, and I wanted to share that experience with you guys. And if you're thinking about one of these things and you're more of a desert runner, they really set this up for the extreme conditions in the desert. They made it so it'll run in that nasty environment where it's hot and dusty and dry, and they did a good job. We hit some bad stuff out there, and it soaked it up. So I was quite pleased. Any questions on that?
Not on that, but Terry Runyon asked, it's a little bit off topic, but 2009 JKUR stock axles on 37s. He's been experiencing bad death wobble. He's already changed the ball joints, tie rod, and ends, drag link and ends, and new track bar. Control arm ends are solid. We're stumped. Do you have any thoughts?
Tires are probably shot. So what happens is after that happens a few times, that gets into the cords and the tread on the tire, and they're done. You can try moving the rears up to see if that took care of it, but here's what I can tell you. If you allow that to happen, even though you've replaced all that other stuff, and you allow it to happen a few more times, it'll trash everything again. So you really got to get after that, and all of that needs to get replaced at the same time. So anybody else who's experiencing those, if you do one at a time, what happens is it's just wearing the other stuff so that by the time you get to the last thing, everything's shot again. So you really got to go easy on that stuff, or kind of be aggressive, sorry. The other thing you could do is there is a small adjustment on the top of the steering box. So if you feel like you have play in your steering wheel, it's an Allen head, and I think it's a 5/8 or 11/16 wrench. And you can take a little bit of the play out of your sector shaft, and that'll tighten up the wheel as well. So hopefully that suggestion will help you. Yep.
Summer Ann has been eyeing the Curry 60. Wants to know the difference in the Curry compared to the others out there like Dynatrack or Spicer for the JL.
So the Dynatrack is probably the most comparable. That is also an American-made, high-quality axle. Dynatrack does some things that are super awesome. The only thing they don't have is that rollback cover. So I like the Dynatrack knuckles better. They've got a brand new, they made their own forged knuckle that allows you to run a 6-inch backspace wheel and reduce the scrub radius even further. So, you've kind of got to give and take there. The other brand axles, they're really not up to par. Their packaging, and guys, this is, again, consider the source, right? You are getting what you pay for. So if you see something cheaper, just think to yourself, I'm not getting the same thing, right? You should know that whether you're buying a printer or anything else that you buy for yourself, you get what you pay for. So when you're looking at a Curry or a Dynatrack, you are looking at the best, and you're going to get that level of quality and performance, and they're going to stand behind it. The other axles, they're not the same. Like on a Curry, on the pinion, you get a big bearing right at where the ring gear is. On a Curry, they put that same big bearing on both sides of it. Where these other axles, you're still getting the small bearings, and you're not getting a 35 spline pinion, you're getting the 30 spline, and you're not getting a 10 5/8 gear, you're getting a 9 or a 9.5 inch gear. So just think about all that stuff, and I know it's really hard. I know these companies, it's like smoke and mirrors. They're sucking you in with a price or some promise or whatever, but you really make sure you're comparing apples to apples, because I'm telling you, when you really look at it, when you look at the true gear size, the bearing size, all that stuff, it's not going to be the same. The other thing about a Curry and a like if you say a Curry 60 and say a Dynatrack 60, those have the same ground clearance as a 44. Those are what they call a high clearance axle, and they're also both high pinion. So huge difference, guys. And all of those things should be, you want, if you're going to spend the money, make sure you get high pinion front and rear. Okay, if you buy anything else, that's why I'm always like laughing at the guys that want to do a 14 bolt. That is, not only is it low pinion, it's the lowest pinion. So just make sure you're setting yourself up for success. You keep those drive shafts high, they don't hit anything, and you're going to be out there wheeling and kicking butt and having a great time and not out there working on your stuff. What else? Rick
Hansen asked, what's the biggest tire you would go with on the JT Mojave?
I would certainly go bigger than a 33. I would have easily put a 35 or a 37 on that thing. It's got 410 gears from the factory. It has the tow package. And I thought that thing, even in the regular mode, I thought it was pretty spunky. And I got, I took a screenshot. When I drove it a total of 600 and something miles. So I put a lot of miles on it for the 1 week that I had it. And the first day I got 20 miles to the gallon, and at the end, including all my off-roading, I got an average of 18 miles to the gallon with the current setup that it had. And I did not air down the tires. I meant to tell you that. I left them at 41 pounds. I would have done better if I had aired them down. And that would be another reason just to go to the next size. So if you go to a 35, when you go off-road, you air it down, you're really at the size of a 33. So, yeah, all great questions. And you can go over to Jeep's website. They've got a whole bunch of technical details on the Mojave edition that tell you all about it and how it ranks within the market.
Rick Harrington asked, why not go with the Curry F9 versus Curry 70? F9 is 160 pounds lighter than the 70.
Yeah, so let's see. Let's start with the weight. First off, I've heard everything from 50 pounds, right? Only 50 pounds to now. This is the most I've heard. I previous to this, I'd heard 150 pounds. Now the number's going up. Again, you're going to get what you pay for. Forget the 9-inch stuff. Unless you're only running a 37-inch tire, forget it. Okay. If you're going to go to a 40, that 9-inch, I'll tell you what, put it in, join me for one Thanksgiving weekend, and you will be broken on the third day. It will not hang. Okay, that stuff, call down to Curry, and don't talk to the regular guys, talk to Casey, okay? Because I've talked to Casey, and Casey told me, Tony, do not offer that 9-inch for a 40-inch tire or bigger for what we're doing with high horsepower. You're going to break that shit. It just don't hold up. And guys, remember, when you do a high pinion on the 9, they oil like crap. And you got to spend a fortune to get that center section. You got to buy, I can't even remember the name brand, but you got to buy a really expensive center section. Then you got to buy the $1,000 ring and pinion. Then you got to buy the $3,000 ARB. Like, you're just taping $100 bills to it. By the way, you know what's awesome about one of these axles? Let's go back there. Let's find a better picture. That 150 pounds, you know where it is? Right down on the bottom. And you know what helps? When you come up over something, it's like taping a guy to the bottom side of your vehicle. So when you come over the top, it settles down really nice. So don't worry about the extra weight. Even, guys, I'm racing Ultra4. I'm racing the Terremoto with the quote-unquote heavier axle. You got nothing to worry about. Have you ever seen one of the videos of Terremoto? Go over to the GenRight website, watch the Elite suspension video where I'm going like 80 miles an hour across the whoop-de-doos, and you can see that axle. I don't know what more you'd want from anything. It's moving as fast as any trophy truck video you're going to watch. It's unbelievable. So, guys, we're just, again, if you want to go that route, go. Let me know how it works out. What else you got?
Rick again, he said they weighed each going 40-inch or 42-inch. Orrin Anderson recommended. Casey told Orrin to put them in. 525 horsepower.
Let me know how it works out.
John Miller said he's really enjoying this.
I'm sure. The only thing we haven't talked about is frickin' ORIs.
Don't ask. John Arias, any pointers on 37-inch tires? Good for on-road and off-road.
30, yeah, the Mickey Thompsons, the Baja Boss. Jordan's running them on his truck. We've got them on a number of Jeeps.
Isn't there like an ATZ? I think that's what we got Shasta.
Oh yeah, we got Jamie's girlfriend Shasta's running an ATZ. I've got ATZs on my truck. There's an MTZ, which is more of a mud version that Shane runs, a 37-inch on his daily driver, and he's going like 30 miles a day. So yeah, all those are great options. You know, the newer tires these days, guys, if you stick with the good name brands, if you're the molds they're doing now, almost the tires come out perfect. You don't even need any weights. I mean, it's not like the old days when we were buying bias ply or radials just came out and you'd get 3 that were great and 1 crappy one. I mean, their tires nowadays are really good. Almost always, like for our race cars that were going 130 or the Terremoto, where I'm doing 100 all the time. I don't even balance those things. You don't need it. What else you got?
Mike Hawes has the MTZs and he loves them.
There you go. Excellent. Don't take my word for it.
Let's see. Mike Stewart, what Curry do you recommend for no larger than a 37? And what do you think of the Maxxis razors on and off road?
I don't have any experience with the Maxxis razor other than seeing them out there, and they seem to be fine. So here's what I know, and I'm going to impart some wisdom on you. We get people all the time come here, promise me, like we're building them a $200,000 Jeep. Tony, I'm never going past a 37. Okay, sure, buddy. Because you know how long that lasts? One freaking trip. And then the Jeep's back here and we're putting 40s on it. So everybody thinks about that. They says it when they realize how good their Jeep can drive, especially when you put on a GenRight suspension. You know, being on a 40, no problem. You're going to love it. It'll drive perfect because we don't lift them up. It's not a monster truck like the rest of these things going down the road. We keep them low. Center of gravity's good. All the geometry's right, the caster's right, and they run really nice on the road. So,
Randy Kelly is asking seriously, please tell me about the ORIs.
So ORIs were designed for a lightweight rock buggy. They were not designed for a Jeep. Okay, you know you got a 1/2-inch bolt on the top, 1/2-inch bolt on the bottom. They are very progressive because it's an air shock. So it's like a leaf spring. You know, the more you're pushing it down, this is different, guys, than a coil spring, right? So you get a coil spring and it's got a spring rating, right? So to get a Jeep, a heavy Jeep, you know, most Jeeps are about 5,000, 6,000 pounds, to sit even level, you know, you got to charge those things to like 800 PSI. So, then you got to have all the equipment to do that. I mean, you blow a seal, you know what? Now you're on the bump stop. And that's the other thing is they convince everybody that they have the built-in bump stop, so then you don't put an external bump stop. So now all the load is on your 2 little tiny brackets and that 1/2-inch bolt. So again, go for it. Let me know how it works out.
Paul Kulik, 2005 LJ, 100% stock. Hoping to put a tracer build on it soon.
Nice.
As it's worth putting, is it worth putting the Curry 70 on the front too? Not a DD used for rock crawling only.
What engine would be my question.
Okay.
So
what engine?
What I want to know is what engine do you plan to put in there and what kind of a driver are you? I mean, you say rock crawler, but does that mean you're a rock bouncer part-time? You know, because if you are the kind of guy that depending on where you wheel, you've got to get it up ledges and you're going to stay on the gas, then, you got to have some good equipment or that stuff's going to blow.
Okay, so we'll wait and see if Paul answers that question.
Yep. What else you got? We seem to have a
see.
flurry of questions today.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I haven't even made it through my slides.
There's a lot of jokes in between.
Oh, yeah? I'm glad everybody's having fun at my expense.
Oh, speaking of, where was that one? Oh, darn it. I lost it now. Oh, Rick Harrington. He said, Oren says that you're on for a weekend race, LOL.
Anytime.
Okay, we got Corey Swinton. If I'm wanting to build a Terremoto or Aftershock clone down the line, do you recommend starting with a Rubicon or base model?
Okay, if we're talking JK,
Terremoto or Aftershock. So we're talking.
Well, Aftershock's JL. Okay, so in JK, you can buy anything. You don't even have to buy a complete Jeep. Buy the cheapest pile of crap salvage title you can get. Okay. In fact, you don't even have to start with a Jeep if you don't want. You can just get a frame, buy an Aqualube tub, and haul that shit box here, and we'll build it. Or you can start in your own garage and do it yourself. JL, totally different. JL, you can't get an Atlas transfer case for it. There's a whole bunch of companies that don't even make anything for it yet because the new vehicles are more and more computerized, okay? So if you want to limit what your options are, get a JL. By the way, you know how well I think all this stuff is going to hold up to beating around for 10 years? Probably not very good. So you're better off to get a JK, gut that thing, do like I did in the Terremoto, get real equipment inside there, a race pack, Motec, something good. And if this is something you're really going to do, if this is your thing, right, then do it right and you're going to have a blast and you'll never look back. So the advantage to the JL is you're going to get that new suspension I was just talking about that sits lower, bumps deeper. So eventually that will transition to the JK, dare I say that, because people are going to start calling for it, but it's not even close for the JK, but it will eventually roll into the JK.
Okay, Paul Kulik answered the question, stock motor, what engine upgrade would you recommend? We wheel Colorado, Moab, St. George, not a bouncer.
Okay, so if your stock motor, no, the VXR 60 is fine. And, I think it's $1,000. So, look, if you're the kind of guy that's like, hey, I'm going to the well once, I'm just going to pony up, hey, God bless you, okay? Or if you're the kind of guy that money's just falling out of your pocket, even more so, God bless you. I think it's a $800 or $1,000 difference you'd have to call in and talk to my guys. Otherwise, the Silver Surfer with 600 plus horsepower has the VXR. Jordan raced with 640 horsepower for years on the same front end with 600 horsepower. So, guys, it's really not a big deal. And that VXR 60 has all the upgrades that the 70 does. It's got the load bolt, the drain on the bottom, the heavier casting. It just doesn't have the 10 and 5/8 ring gear. So you're getting a 10-inch ring gear, which is it's the Dana Spicer Super 60 ring gear is what we spec in every one of ours. So you're getting the real good stuff in there. We don't put any of the cheap aftermarket Korean crap.
Kevin Barnes has put in a lot of separate messages, and I don't totally understand what he's saying. So can you address that after?
Yeah, I'll get on
after the live.
Yeah.
He's got lots of information.
Okay.
And then let's see.
We're getting down to the end. Do I have more slides, James? What else have I got? Oh, yeah, we haven't even talked about
Why don't you cover that?
I'm cutting onto this.
That's fine.
This last weekend, we took Jordan's race car out to the Hammers and met our team. We had a full team practice, and you can see the car there. I'm there. Everybody's getting together. We're talking about our strategy, our pit stops, everything. You could see we had both cars out there and a bunch of Jeeps and stuff. So everybody was this is their chance to get familiar with all the changes. We did some practice pit stops where we were fueling, we were checking the car. This is a great time for people to get around. You know, when this car comes in, it's hot, it's loud, and you can't talk to the driver. He's got his helmet on and earbuds in. So it's a great chance for everybody to get around the car and have a feel for that. Again, you know, everybody kind of getting used to it. Of course, if you like what you see, please follow us on all of the platforms on social media and share that with your friends and stuff. All right, we might have room for a couple last minute questions.
All right, Kevin gave me a nice little synopsis. He said the question is, with a 500 plus horsepower LS motor and a tracer build, should I spend the money to get the Curry 70 over the 60?
I don't think so. I think you're fine with the VXR 60, which is the current model 60. That'll hold up just fine. The 500 is kind of the tipping point, by the way.
Threshold.
Once, that threshold. Once you pass that, you're able. So, anyways, but you'll be fine. You'll be fine. So, it's part of the reason we still leave worn hubs on there that has the fuse in there. It's also the reason that I don't go past a 1350 U-joint. I make sure there's other stuff in the driveline that'll go before that ring and pinion. Yep. What else you got?
Kevin said, well, that's like saying I'm going to run a 40 forever. What if I want to run a 42 or a 700 horsepower motor?
Then you're definitely needing to look at the 70. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So.
That's it.
Yep. But good questions.
Yep.
Everybody today.
Yep.
Very good job,
Good
everyone. That's all we got for today. We covered a lot of stuff. You know, we're busy here. Jordan and I are back out in the desert tomorrow. We got a lot going on. We're working on all kinds of new products, including the JL Elite. I was just talking to Darren about that earlier today.
When are we going to get an update on
The Growler.
the Growler?
Yeah. James, come on up here. Give us an update on the Growler.
Where you at? Well, you've been
Sure
working
there
on
is.
something this week.
What did you just do last
Talk
night?
about what you've been working on this week.
So we got the we got the 6.2 LS3 that we're gonna put in it. Just doing some work to it. Working with fast comp cams.
You're getting a bunch of cool stuff.
To get some cool stuff to put in it. Some head and sheeting, so that'll be nice when we get that back.
They're going to port the heads.
Yeah, port the heads. And then I'm working with Maximum Transmissions. So we're going to put a Turbo 400 in it. I think that's a week or two-ish out.
You already got the Atlas transfer case?
Yeah, we got the Atlas transfer case.
He's already got the Curry VXR 60 and 70.
Curries that we talked about the whole time. I think King's gonna work with me on shocks, and it's coming together. I'm hoping to have it out by New Year's, so I don't know. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you got the dash in there. I mean, you've been going to town on this thing. So
dash, center console.
He's working on the whole rear
we're doing
fender
a
wells and
custom
floor.
aluminum bed that I think eventually we're planning on selling as a kit. So that'll be cool. And of course, I'll post pictures, or GenRight will, or it'll be on the live or something. But yeah, maybe on Thursday we'll have a little more of an update. So yeah,
Cool.
good.
Jason said to say hey to you, James, and Nana sends kisses.
Hi, Jason.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I hope you had a good time, and we will see you on Thursday.